Excelsior!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Excelsior. This is episode 11. I'm your moderator, Christian Buckley, joined by Jack Martin.
Good to be here.
It's funny that it's crept up this fast,
It's real.
but we're
up.
caught up
Yeah,
as of today
that's weird.
after this episode.
I've caught up with this Lost podcast that I've been keeping up with.
Okay.
And I've caught up with the MCU, so
Impressive.
feeling pretty caught up. Really behind in all my schoolwork, but other than that, doing pretty well.
Yeah, what is it? Also joining us on the mixer, Pat Maroney.
Hello.
Hello.
It does feel weird that this is like technically the last show that we're doing of the sort of vaulted
Of the
movies.
the review movie format.
Yeah.
We do have new stuff we're going to probably talk about.
Yeah, we are branching out.
Yeah, either I'll save it for the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And during the Endgame episode, we'll probably talk about it too.
Yeah.
But, as is tradition on the show, we have a game we play called Cast Me Baby One More Time, where every week.
Is this the last one?
I don't know yet.
I say we do one more for Endgame.
I have an idea.
What?
So, let me explain the game first, and I'll tell you what the idea is.
Yeah, sorry.
So, every week we pull a name from this crayon box. It's a character Marvel has yet to cast in the MCU. Jack and I each have a minute to think of a person to portray said character. Pat will decide, and they will join our cast of the MCU. Last week, this previous Sunday, as of recording, I guested on my friend Kayla Jouette's podcast, The Snap,
Oh,
where we talked about Avengers Infinity War. So I brought the game there, and she decided to cast KJ Appa of Riverdale, the redhead guy,
yeah. Archie?
Archie,
Okay.
as Iceman.
That's really good.
Yeah, right?
I like that a lot.
It's a good choice, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good things happen when I'm not the one that's making the decisions, apparently.
So she decided him. It was a fun episode. I'm not sure when that's out, but give that show a little look-see.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is joining people like Beyonce playing Mystique.
Yep.
John
Eddie Murphy
Krasinski
playing Blade.
Yeah, John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. So what I'm thinking is that maybe for our last review episode, I write a scene
Okay.
with all the characters we've cast so far.
Yeah.
And we would perform said scene.
I'm
we would each
down.
have characters.
That's a good
Sweet.
idea.
And we would have to read the scene.
Okay.
Pretending to be these actors playing these characters.
Okay.
I don't think I can do it, Becky
So like
Lynch.
Eddie Murphy.
I
if
can
one-
do Christopher Walken.
If one of us is Eddie Murphy, you are reading Blade's lines as Donkey.
Nice.
That just makes my decision to put Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
in sound
Right?
so much worse.
Nice.
Okay, so if we're down for that, I'll try to write a scene by the
Okay.
time we continue. So who is potentially our last casting?
This is a really good one. It's Miles Morales.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good
Do
one.
you have one? Because I have one in my head.
You can go if you want.
So I was just looking up a bunch of actors on my phone.
Mhm.
But I've come to the conclusion that I think this actor would be fairly good in this role. It's a young man by the name of Jaden Smith.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a young lad.
Yes.
He's an African-American fellow. And Miles Morales is half African-American, half Puerto Rican.
I think so.
Or he's Hispanic at least. And I think he would do well in this role because he has that youth still, where he's still pretty young. I would imagine he's around Tom Holland's age.
Mm-hmm.
And he has this like sort of interesting aura around him. Like just internet-wise, he's just kind of a weird dude.
Mhm.
And I think he would kind of fit into the MCU. And I'd also love to see his, I guess, interaction with Childish Gambino as the Prowler.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I couldn't really think of too many other people, but I could see Jaden Smith in this role.
Okay.
I don't really have any too strong convictions about Jaden Smith. But
Time.
yeah.
That's an interesting choice.
Mhm.
So you would be saying that he's around the same age as Peter in this
Yeah.
timeline?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say so.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's hard for me to think because, like, Miles in Spider-Verse is perfect. And, like, it's so hard to top that performance.
Exactly, yeah.
I think Miles in the PS4 game can use some work, especially after seeing how good Miles was in Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, Sony had the people in house too.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah.
But he played Okay, I'll start now. The whoever it is, Pat, can you check for me, that plays Lucas on Stranger Things?
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'd be very good.
Yeah,
because
that's really good.
he has a very sharp wit to him
Mhm.
that I feel like Miles could use. Similar to Miles in Spider-Verse, he has a lot of snappy comebacks. He's
Mhm.
very observant of almost everything. Lucas in
His name is Caleb McLaughlin.
Thank you. So in Stranger Things, he is one of my favorite of the group of kids
Mhm.
because he has the most character, I'd say, because he goes through in season 1, he's kind of in the background, but like season 2, he comes to prominence, and he has that story with Dustin and Max, and I think the three of them play off each other well. So seeing him interact with a small group, seeing him look up to someone like Tom Holland, who's slightly older than him,
Yeah.
I feel like he has that charisma and he has that charm that few child actors do, and I feel like he'd be able to bring a presence like that to Miles.
Time.
I like that one a lot.
You guys are perfect on the minutes, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Caleb on that one.
Nice.
That's
Yeah, I
a
think
that's
that's
a
a
good. Well, because like also like Jaden Smith's kind of old now, isn't he?
How old is he?
He's
Is he
like-
older than
he's
Tom
like-
Holland?
My age, no?
Yeah, I feel like he's as old as us.
Do you think that's too old, though?
He's 20.
For Miles, maybe.
Really? I feel like
Lucas is
people
7,
our
or-
age can still play high school kids, though.
Yeah, and that's
But-
pretty much every high schooler in
Yeah.
Hollywood is like
Oh, yeah.
25.
But I think Lucas is a really good choice. Caleb McLaughlin.
Yeah, he's 17. So
Oh, there. See, age-appropriate actors.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how old Tom Holland was, I think, when he was cast.
Really? Was he 17?
He was young. He might have been like 18, but he was very young.
Yeah, pretty young.
how old is Tom Holland now?
I think he's our age now, like 20.
He's our age.
21 to
21.
23, I think.
Cool,
Yeah.
I can hang out with him sometime.
Yeah. So potentially the final edition of Cast Me.
Yeah.
In the future, we will have a replacement segment that I've been thinking of.
Very cool.
So this week, we are reviewing Infinity War. Because of the sensitivity of spoilers
Mhm.
for Endgame, the fact that 5 minutes of spoilers has leaked online for Endgame, I have been pretty much off the internet this past week.
Good. Me too.
And I haven't wanted to look into news. I haven't wanted to look at any sites that even sometimes report Marvel things.
Mhm.
Via Twitter, I have two, actually via Twitter for one news story, via Instagram DM from Jack.
Yeah,
have
I
another
sent
news
you
story.
one. I sent you one, and I thought you were gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I saw that," and you were like, "Oh whoa."
Yeah. So
I guess that makes sense because you weren't really paying attention to news.
right, yeah. So first story is that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, is releasing officially July 19th.
Okay. A few weeks after Far From Home.
Yep.
All right.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Gonna be a fun co-op game.
Yeah, you're looking real forward to that.
Yeah, mainly for my love for the original.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mess with 2 that much, mainly just because, you know, when you're a kid, you have like a handful of games that you own and just
Right.
play to death. Ultimate Alliance was one of those for me,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty much one of my gateways to the Marvel Universe. So seeing them follow up now, the box art is cool because it has some prominent characters that we don't see a ton
Yeah.
in other Marvel media, mainstream media, I guess. Like Wolverine is smack dab in the middle. Spider-Gwen and Miles are both on there
Oh.
on the box art.
Yeah.
A couple of their X-Men characters, Tony, Star-Lord, Captain Marvel. So I'm looking forward to that one.
What's the price tag on this thing?
It's probably 60,
Okay.
but I got a handful of Joy-Con and I'm buying this game so we can all group together and
Yeah.
fight through
Down.
some Hydra agents one night.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so do you know you're probably not going to pick it up?
Probably not.
Maybe see how it shows the next few months?
I think I'm gonna like look into it.
Mm-hmm.
These types of games really don't do it for me. Like the switching off kind of thing.
Mhm. Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo, Dragon Age, Inquisition, that
Mhm.
kind of you have a party and you switch between. I
Yeah.
don't really like that kind of game personally.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you got that Marvel characters in it.
Yeah.
Pretty interested in that.
I feel
So,
like
who knows?
sometimes that makes like games like that make it a little more difficult for
Mhm.
story to progress, where you have like kind of your own choice of characters to choose from. So there's not really that much continuity.
What's
Yeah.
usually good too, from memory of Ultimate Alliance, was like, you start off in a mission with a cutscene of maybe Fury talking to the whole group. This was when Fury was still white
Yeah.
in Ultimate Alliance 1, I think.
He's no longer white in this game.
He was
No,
white?
he's based on Sam Jackson now.
Okay,
Because
cool.
when the Ultimate Comics came out in the mid 2000s, they switched over to the Sam Jackson style, and they actually drew him as Sam Jackson.
Right.
And that's why Sam Jackson was cast.
Yeah.
But
Didn't Samuel L. Jackson say like, "You better cast me"?
oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I would if they drew it after me.
Yeah. I think prior to this, I think there might have been a Nick Fury thing that existed of David Hasselhoff playing Fury. Because Fury used to be white.
Right.
He used to be like the older war vet guy.
In Captain America White, he's white.
Oh.
That's actually why it's called Captain America White, because Nick Fury was white.
I believed you for a second.
Wait, does Nick Fury have hair?
Yeah.
Or does he still look like the current?
He still has hair.
I was about to say, like, I feel like a pirate Walter White wouldn't be a cool Nick Fury.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's one
what
of
comes
those.
to mind. Though.
Nick Fury is one of those guys that like I can see no other actor playing him.
Yeah,
than
same.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah. So that does it for Ultimate Alliance.
Okay.
Excited for that one.
Yeah.
Next, though, interesting little tidbit via Instagram.
Yeah.
So Sony is moving up the release of Far From Home by 3 days.
By 3 days. Yeah.
Originally coming out July 5th.
Right.
Now July 2nd.
July 2nd, the day the Declaration of Independence was signed.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Pretty
either.
sure. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we have a smart person on the show.
I don't know about that.
Who knows? You know your history, though.
I know dates.
That's
And
still
that's
better than
it.
I know. Like some things happened in like 1776.
Yeah. Some things definitely happened in 1776.
Yeah.
But like it's good that you know these things. So yeah, I can only imagine the reason they wanted to move it up more is so it has more time for the July 4th week
Yes.
and weekend.
Yes.
I can't imagine it's anything else for how little of a move this is.
Now, I'm going to check the calendar here.
Mhm.
July
Is it a Tuesday?
2nd is a Tuesday.
Yeah, so I guess they're
That's
thinking.
weird.
Well, the thing is, Spider-Man movies normally come out 4th of July weekend. I feel like that's always been a thing
Yeah. You know why?
because he's American. He's
Yeah.
all American. There's always the shot of the flag.
Yeah, there's always a shot of the flag.
Yeah.
Well, also Tuesday release, like most people take the 3rd and the 5th off, or the 3rd or the 5th off.
Mhm.
Right.
So I feel like that release is kind of, it's alluding to like
Yeah.
the weekend.
Right.
And
Yeah.
July 4th itself is on a Thursday. So it would make sense that they didn't want to release it that day. Because usually, as we've been discussing this in this podcast, movies nowadays are releasing Thursdays instead of Fridays.
Yeah.
So, like,
So technically,
a
we'd
little
be
weird.
seeing it Monday then.
Yeah.
is
July
that true?
July 1st.
Oh, because, like,
Because
the actual
the
release
6 o'clock or the 7 o'clock show the night before.
date. Wow.
Because they still, like, if it's a weird date, it's still the day
The day
before
before.
at night. You can still see it.
Okay.
Release dates make no sense, man.
Yeah.
They don't.
Movies are usually Fridays, or actually Thursdays. Video games are always Tuesdays.
And now
Yeah.
it's Fridays.
And yeah, now Fridays.
Also, they should release video games on Friday because
Yes.
if you go to a midnight pickup, what am I supposed to do? Go home, go to bed, then go to work the next day? Like,
Exactly,
that's
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yep.
Well, that's why most. I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but like most, like huge video games now release on Fridays.
I remember
Yeah.
The Last was
I
released on a
appreciate
Friday.
that.
Red Dead 2 was a Friday.
you.
I think Spider-Man was a Friday.
Yep.
Um,
I was not here for that
you weren't, yeah.
release, unfortunately.
By the way, tangent as well. For like up until like 2 days ago,
Mhm.
I thought The Last of Us was that like really heartfelt show on NBC.
like this is us.
yeah,
this
that's,
is- that's
so
awesome.
I saw a photo of like actors in CGI, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what are they doing on that show now?
Dang, they got a budget over there. Well, yeah, that's pretty much everything we had for news, though.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm happy.
Yeah, we'll get to see it a little
It's
sooner.
only like a few days sooner, but
So
Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
yeah.
yeah, so time for Infinity War.
Finally, we are finally here
Yeah, I
to
don't
the
know.
best Avengers movie.
I agree with
Agreed.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree
All
with
right.
you. So
That's kind of a softball. That wasn't like a.
well. The thing is, with me, it was like I doubted myself because the day I saw Infinity War, fresh out of that premiere, I was like, "This is the best Marvel movie." I don't think it's the best Marvel movie.
Okay.
But that was like an overreaction at the time.
So that's funny.
Uh huh.
When I saw The Dark Knight Rises with my buddy Tim Jarvis in 2012, we stood up in the theater and said, "That's the best movie I've ever seen." And our opinions have changed.
Not the
since then.
case.
Yeah,
Not the case.
that always happens.
So yeah, over time, it's worn off that like #1 spot. I think it didn't even last like 2 weeks. So
In your head.
yeah, and
Okay.
I think I saw it like 3 times in theaters.
Me too.
I saw it again when it came out on DVD. I never watched it on Netflix until this past week.
Really?
Yeah. So the last time I watched it was whenever it came out on DVD.
Mm.
And since then, I enjoyed it, but the thing is, I still remembered every part of that movie.
Yeah.
Even so far away from it.
Sorry.
I was just gonna wrap up with that thought, saying like, similar to the way I feel about the first Avengers movie,
Mm-hmm.
where so much of the appeal to Avengers 1, in my opinion, is the spectacle and it's them meeting each other for the first time.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before on the show. And that magic has worn off over time, for me at least. And what's left is still entertaining, but it's not like this god tier movie.
Right.
Infinity War, I was worried the same sort of thing might happen because, again, there's so many characters we know individually meeting each other for the first time. So much of it is about the focus on the team ups and like the individual partnerships in this movie, where I was like, that might hurt it down the line, but I'm happy to say it is definitely the best Avengers movie.
I think so too. I've said this before about probably a few MCU movies, especially with Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie has no business being good at all. There are so many characters in this movie that the Russo brothers have to deal with.
Dude, so many A-listers too.
So many A-listers and so many like random characters.
So many egos too.
Yeah, there's so many egos.
How did it work?
There are so many like people. Obviously, all of these characters have their own movies, so they have to give everyone equal amount of time to do their own thing.
Right, and they don't even. Like, there's a handful that get like most of the time in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. And the people that kind of don't get that time still do have their.
They have good moments.
They have good moments. They have their
moments,
time in the sun, and I don't know. I think the Russo brothers did a excellent job, especially with the characters in this movie.
Here's a claim I want to make.
Yeah.
So I've been watching through Community.
Okay.
I just finished season 2 last night.
Is that a Russo brothers production?
Russo brothers directed Community.
Oh.
I don't know if they directed every season, but at least the first couple they for sure did.
Okay.
Community is one of my favorite shows ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's still good. They have an ensemble cast of 7 actors, plus like a couple side characters that are pretty much in every episode.
Yeah.
They balance the storytelling for the most part for all 7 of those characters incredibly well in a 20-minute episodes.
Yeah.
I'm convinced they have always been good at dealing with ensemble casts.
I can see it.
Because to my knowledge, Community is one of the first things they worked on.
Yeah.
And then they went straight into Winter Soldier.
And well, they did Arrested Development, right?
Okay, that's true. Before Community, they did.
Oh, that was before. Okay.
Yeah, because Community was like 08, I think 2009.
Yeah, and Arrested Development is another show. I've only seen a few episodes, but that's another show
big cast.
with a huge cast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're right. I feel like they're really good at.
Auteurs.
Yeah, they are auteurs. I've seen this movie probably. I want to say so. I saw it 3 times in theaters. I saw it once on a plane coming back from Ireland. And they edited out parts.
Really?
Yeah, they
Why?
gave like the TV, like TBS version of it on the. So let me give you some examples. When Doctor Strange says "protecting your reality," douchebag, they cut that word out. When Thor is coming back from Nidavellir, and he's like floating through space back towards Peter Dinklage's character, and he hits his head. They cut that part out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really strange.
So it's weird. So
And they also cut out the part where Peter Quill flips off Thanos. Really strange.
yeah, it was just censoring that. It wasn't for time constraints.
Yeah, it was just censoring.
Okay, that's weird.
It's really strange. And it's a PG-13 movie, so
Yeah, that's strange.
I don't know.
Do you not
rules
use
are
the
weird.
middle finger on PG-13 movies?
I don't think you can use it on
I don't
TV
Oh,
for
That's
like
weird.
daytime TV at least.
yeah. So I think I've seen this probably like 6 or 7 times, honestly.
Okay, I think I've seen it like 5 now.
Yeah, 5 to 7, I would say for me.
I'm in that same ballpark. Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
What's your favorite fight from the entire movie?
Favorite fight?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I really like the start of the battle on Wakanda, where it's like just Steve and T'Challa just like destroying everybody.
Oh yeah,
Like the two of them are
running up.
sprinting ahead of the entire pack and just go to town on all these aliens.
Yeah,
I really like that part. That whole battle's pretty good for considering it's like 90% CG.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty good.
yeah. I don't think anything looks too bad in this movie.
And I do appreciate the Titan fight just because of how team oriented it is.
That's probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part of that is that whole plan was Peter Quill's plan,
Yeah.
and I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the this is an under opinion. I was talking to Christian about this earlier. The fight in the like subway.
Oh,
yeah.
with Cap?
That's a good one
when
too.
he,
Yeah.
when he catches that spear.
Oh, it's awesome.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Just torque my body and snag it out of the air.
So that's funny you bring that up, because my biggest issue with this movie, and it's not even that big, is that Captain America does nothing in this movie. Almost, I mean, like he doesn't
catches
do
his
nothing.
spear.
He doesn't do nothing. I'm so used to Captain America having such a focus, especially with Civil War. Obviously, that's his movie, but it's essentially an Avengers movie, and he led that movie.
I mean,
and
even
he
Ultron,
really,
he had more.
yeah, and he really didn't even have too much to do in this movie.
Yeah.
I want to go through the script and like compile all of his lines, because I bet it's like very few lines that he had.
I remember there's a graphic. I think I might have had it saved on my old phone, but there's a graphic of charting how much screen time each character had. And I think the highest was Tony, Quill, Strange, Thanos, and like maybe Spider-Man was closest to that too.
Okay.
But I think Cap had maybe like 7 minutes on that chart.
Wow.
Out of
It's
a
nothing.
230 movie, 240.
I hope with Endgame they rectify that, and I think they will.
Yeah, he seems pretty front and center.
He might have a bigger role in Endgame. I feel like that
really
could be a
hope so.
reason, because he wasn't like doing any like scheming or planning like the other characters were. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, like his character too, where they pick up in Infinity War, is just like he's kind of on the run. You know, he's just
Yeah.
trying to survive out there.
He's also like, I assume obviously at the end of Infinity War, he's the leader that's left. So, because he says in Infinity War, like, Earth just lost her greatest defender.
Talking
with
about Tony. Yeah.
Tony. And so he's all that's left, not all that's left, but he's like the leader that's left. So he kind of has to lead these guys,
Yeah.
and kind of see what we do.
I have another question for you guys.
Yeah.
What's up?
Do you think Captain America, aka Steve Rogers, has more screen time in post-credit scenes and in trailers than he did in the actual Avengers movie? Since he only had 7 minutes, do you think there's 7 minutes of Captain America out there right now for Endgame?
Oh, from like the trailers they've shown so
From
far?
trailers
No.
and post-credit scenes, because he had a 5 minute. There was like a 5 minute post-credit scene at the end of Captain Marvel. And
That's
he-
not 5 minutes.
That was not 5 minutes. Might have
Okay.
felt like
I don't know
it.
how time works.
I don't think it's too close, but
Yeah, I could be wrong on the 7 minute thing too. I think it was around there though.
Okay.
It might have been like 7 to 15
yeah.
because it's not a lot.
That's a big gap.
Because most of the time he's just there for Wakanda,
Yeah.
and there's a couple scenes with the group when he's like, "We got to go here. We got to go here now."
I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah,
Black
Great line.
Panther didn't get too much screen time in that movie either.
That's true.
yeah, he didn't. He had a big role to play, but he didn't get
He
a lot
did.
of screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wakanda had more of a role more of a
Presence,
presence than he
yeah.
did. Yeah.
So I want to get into the components of this movie.
Let's do it.
One of the things that this movie does so well, personally, and the reason why I'm deciding that this is not going to have the same effect that Avengers 1 had, is Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos and Gamora are the heart of this movie, in my opinion. I think their relationship, their dynamic, Thanos is like almost holy quest that he has.
Right.
I
It's a
think
crusade.
yeah.
Yeah.
That that storyline and the way he acts upon it and the way he interacts with his subordinates and his children is just fascinating and like something we've never seen before in a Marvel movie, and even I would say on any superhero movie like this. I think Thanos is clearly the best villain in the MCU.
Yeah. At this point,
Yeah.
for sure.
And I would also say that he's one of the better villains in blockbuster movies since Vader.
Joker?
I disagree. I think the elves were better in Thor 2.
Jesus.
So with Joker, it's interesting because Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Big time.
With,
time.
with Joker was a very good performance. And I think the reason why his character is such a good villain is because he's just so antagonistic to Batman. And it kind of stops there. Like, you can question why he's doing this, and there's an interesting discussion to have there.
Yeah.
But with Thanos, it's like, he's not doing it to be a villain. And I think
There's some sort of relatable aspect to him.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
kind of.
That makes sense.
And there's a full subreddit, I think it's like r/Thanos did nothing wrong.
Did nothing wrong. Yeah.
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 Where it's like, yeah, you can sit there and you can question. There are actual, like, real world things you can think about for overpopulation, and he has a point with what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And similar to how Ultron had his theory about like a great sacrifice will create world peace, was like, I feel like Thanos and Ultron are like almost two sides of the same coin in what they wanted to do. Ultron clearly very robotic, very one-minded. This is how things work.
Yeah.
And not as good as a villain. I'm not making that comparison at all. But he had the same sort of goal in mind. Almost, you know?
Yeah, what makes Thanos a good villain to me is that he believes he's doing good.
Yeah.
Because most villains believe that they're doing evil and are very selfish.
Yeah, and that gets kind of tired.
Thanos is like kind of, in his mind, he thinks he's being selfless.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to do good for the rest of the universe.
He thinks he's a hero.
He does. He's in his mind, he's the hero of his story.
And it's what's interesting about him is the fact that he doesn't even think of himself as a hero.
No.
He thinks it is his duty to do this.
Right.
Which, again, is so fascinating, and why I would say I put him above Ledger's Joker as far as being a villain.
I could see that.
Because Joker is antagonistic, and you can analyze his psyche, and there's some fascinating things about Joker.
Right.
But Thanos is painted in a completely different light.
Yeah.
And I think, again, I'm just drawing back to this knowledge of that chart. I think Thanos is the one who has the most screen time of any character in this movie.
Yeah, I could see it.
And it's kind of his movie.
It is. Yeah, it's definitely Thanos' movie.
And that's not an original thought. Like, a lot of people have said that. But, yeah, I think him, the effect of him, and the effect of everything he does and the reasoning for it is what is going to make this movie hold up as time goes on and make it deeper than just Tony and Strange had an encounter.
I think so too. I think people will not watch the original Avengers, and Age of Ultron, I feel, will be an oft forgotten Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it already is now.
For sure.
A lot of people I know who enjoy the MCU now like haven't seen that movie.
Yeah, and Ultron isn't great, but I really like it.
Like
that movie.
Oh, the movie itself. Yeah, I have it here in my listing. I prefer Ultron over the Avengers.
Me too.
But both of those movies, I feel like I don't really need to go back to, especially with like the importance of this movie now.
Yeah.
Like this movie is just too important for the rest of the MCU.
I kind of think it makes going back to Ultron easier too, because Ultron is so light compared to this.
Yeah.
It's shorter. It's them still functioning as a team.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, this is a fun time, you know? And it's like, I don't have to spend so much of my time investing in seeing these people meet each other.
Yeah. Just with the opening in this movie.
Yeah.
It's the most different opening in any MCU movie. Like, there's silence for like 5 seconds. It's like, whoa, what's happening?
You want to know what I hated?
What's that?
There are very few things that get to me. When I saw Infinity War opening night, when the Marvel thing came up, and it was silence.
Yes.
Like, it was very clearly silence. And you could hear the silence and the low tune humming of whatever instrument that was at first. It's so foreboding and somber. Eruption of applause.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. Someone is about to die the second we get to the screen of this. Don't cheer.
That's the thing with opening nights. And I had this discussion with Alex White of the Cantina in Dublin. He also hates opening night screenings, because not screenings themselves, but the audiences, because for me too, I feel like they kind of ruin it. Like anytime a character comes on screen, they're clapping. It's like, this is not Full House. This is a film.
There's an extent. There's an extent that I'm okay with it.
I agreed with you on that, because I was talking to Christian about it like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think people who clap during movies, there's no live performance.
No.
Like no one's hearing you applaud for them. If you clap during a movie or you clap during like a plane landing, you're dead to me.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
So here's my defense of that.
The plane landing or the
not the plane landing.
That's the only one that's like indefensible. You're just a weirdo.
Yeah. Well,
So-
you did survive a plane landing though.
But so does like most people.
That's fair. Most people do survive plane landings. Some don't.
Breaking news.
So my defense for the movie clapping thing, I think it does add to it, because the thing is, like, these aren't super artsy, very artistically integrative films, you know? So like, yeah, some clapping is fine.
I think, yeah.
And like I will give them 3.
Here, when the
Some-
trailers stop, you can clap. I think.
So this is the way I do it. I get for something. This is a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
Again, so with something like Star Wars,
Okay.
when the crawl starts, go for it.
Okay.
Clap.
Really?
When the movie ends, sure, clap.
Okay.
Because a Star Wars movie, seeing that in theater, that's an event.
Yeah.
And if there's one cool part during the movie, sure, go for it. 'Cause
What's your Last Jedi clap moment?
Last Jedi clap? Ooh, I don't know my Last Jedi clap, but I know my Force Awakens clap.
Here's my Last Jedi clap. When Rey and Kylo team up.
Okay, that's
and
cool.
they get
yeah,
that,
that's
and I'm
worth
like,
it. That's
you
worth
know,
it.
I'll clap for that.
So,
I don't love The Last Jedi, but
so my Force Awakens clap.
yeah.
When Kylo's using the Force to get the lightsaber, flies right by his face,
Oh.
and Rey catches it, and then it's like swells into the Star Wars
Yeah,
music.
that's a big clap.
That's
moment.
a clap.
Oh, hell yeah.
With Avengers,
Infinity War? Or?
Infinity War, I'll say there's a couple moments that may warrant a clap.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of them are when the Avengers theme kicks in.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thor?
Yes.
Okay, the one thing I still don't condone clapping,
Yeah.
but when Cap popped out from behind the subway,
Yeah. Like cheering
that
or
was a
clapping
huge
at that
clap
moment,
moment.
that's
Cool,
fine
yeah.
because nothing
Audiences.
else is happening. It's just like someone making an entrance
Yeah.
and there's like really cool music playing. And yeah, the clapping definitely adds to the adrenaline there.
Right.
And I enjoy that for opening nights.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw Infinity War, like I said with that thing, that happened. Every character, the second
Yes.
they popped up, got an applause.
When they went to Wakanda, people started clapping. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
I'll say that too. But the thing is,
Yeah.
every time they went to Wakanda, we got
Yes.
to clap.
I know, it's ridiculous, dude. Absolutely ridiculous.
So sorry about that little offshoot.
I mean, I'm still in one quick last
Yeah, yeah,
tangent
yeah.
point. There's no way to draw a line, and that's why I say none of
true.
it. Because that guy that sat behind us when we saw Captain Marvel almost ruined the movie for me.
Yeah.
Because he had the biggest cackle I've ever heard in my life, and everything was like end of a stand-up set funny to him.
Can the headline of this video be "We hate clapping in movie theaters"?
Yeah.
Also, an Infinity War review.
The thing is, I don't hate it. I feel like it can add to it,
yeah.
but don't push it.
Yeah. There's.
You get max 4.
Yeah. Max
ideally,
4.
ideally 3.
That's fine.
5, I'm a little annoyed, but I won't be mad.
Yeah.
Anything past 5, you get this from me.
3's fine. I agree with you. 3 is fine.
Yeah. And the thing is, credits and closing, those take up 2 of those.
Yeah.
So
You're exactly
okay.
right. You're
But getting
exactly
getting back to Infinity War.
right. So I was saying this, like, the opening has like such a different tone.
Yeah.
And like, you know what you're getting into. And that's never happened in an MCU movie. It's always like bright and cheery. It's like, all right, let's go. And this one, it's like, I felt so like dejected going into this movie.
Yeah, I love
'Cause
that
I'm like,
they've.
oh no.
I love that they've leaned into to doing cold opens.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely the best one.
I think so.
Some are really good like comedic bits.
Yeah.
This is a really strong one because it's like 10 minutes
Yeah.
before we hit the title.
And a fun fact here.
Mm-hmm.
The guy you can hear sending out the distress signal from the
Asgardian ship.
Asgardian ship is the director of Thor.
Oh, Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's him.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because Thor's right there, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Okay, I've been saying this maybe a few times during the podcast throughout the weeks. After this movie ended, referring back to this first scene, people were just like, I heard people talking behind me, like just in the theater, like, oh wow, I can't believe it. People were like, oh, they're gonna come back next. This movie makes millions of dollars, whatever, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And some guy I hear like talking to his wife or whatever, he's like, wow. He's like, wow, Idris Elba didn't even get to stand up in this movie.
Yeah.
he just goes out, man.
Yeah.
It sets the tone perfectly
It
for
does,
the
yeah.
whole movie because like the show starts and you're like, oh, okay, we're already losing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two main character deaths.
And Thanos already has a stone.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
Power
already
stone.
two.
Two
at
stones,
this point.
yeah.
Well, yeah, he gets it at the end of the scene.
Yeah, yeah.
And he had the 2 stones that he had in the trailer. Do you remember, like, in the trailers, they, like, CGI'd some of the stones out of his
right, yeah.
glove?
Yes.
So I was like, that's when I knew, like, well,
Yeah.
he's clearly going to get more.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, the opening is really strong. Tom Hiddleston, I applaud him.
Rest in peace. Apparently, he doesn't really like being in the MCU, though.
Really?
Is that true? That's what I've heard.
I've never heard that.
I don't know. That's what I've heard.
Weird.
But he's playing Loki for
a TV show,
television
yes.
show,
I
so
don't. Do you
know
think he's
about
getting
that.
unsnapped? If there's an unsnapping,
I think he's dead.
We're gonna. I want to touch on that when we get into the theories for Endgame in the
Yes.
second half of this show, but I have some opinions.
Okay.
So he does. I feel like almost everybody gives a good performance in this movie.
Yes. I must say, from the beginning scene of this, I think this has the best cinematography in the MCU.
So far,
There's a lot of long shots.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes where there's no cuts.
Mhm.
A lot of handheld work, which I appreciate. That whole like first sequence, you're just following Ebony Maw as he's walking through like all the dead Asgardians, and then you finally come up to Thanos, and that's like one cut.
mm-hmm. Also, like continuing
yeah.
with that, when the ship arrives in New York
Mhm.
and you see it follows
Yeah.
Tony, it's just the tracking shot of
Oh,
him
that's a
going
perfect
outside.
one, yeah.
That's really good too.
I love that because
and
you're
it's handheld too, so it's like
Yeah.
really chaotic. I like
that's
that.
what I love, and like you're following Tony Stark as he's like seeing the chaos, and
Mhm.
like the camera's like looking around
Yeah.
as if he's looking around and like seeing all these like people fleeing. And
That's-
in Tony's perspective, it's like, oh no, here's another New York situation.
Right.
And like again in New York, and he's like, like no, get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Birds
movie,
closed today.
the movie does look very nice. I don't know if it's my favorite visually.
Which would you think? Guardians?
I've said it a couple times on the show what I think my favorite ones are, but I think the ones that are standing out to me visually right now in my head, original Iron Man I think looks fantastic.
Because of the grain, the film.
The film grain and the CG looks good in
Mhm.
place.
Okay.
Like all in context, I think that's one of the better, most consistent CG uses in the film series. And I think Guardians 2 has amazing digital set design, and there are a few points in that movie where I'm like, oh, they're on a set.
Yeah.
Like especially like Ego's planet,
Mhm.
all the design of everything, how intricate some of those statues are. Again, I don't think there's any like real poor CG in that movie. I
Yeah.
think so much of that is gorgeous. But yeah, Infinity War does have a very strong, consistent look to it.
I think so too. And I was just thinking about that New York scene. One of my favorite quotes in this, from Iron Man, just because it hits you out of the blue, and like you laugh instantly just because you think it's funny, and then you think about it, it's like, wow, that's actually way funnier. That means get lost, Squidward. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
how'd
Yeah.
they get the rights?
Yeah, seriously.
So I guess like in other territories, he said other things.
Really?
I think in the UK release, he called him Voldemort.
Ah,
I could be
Oh.
wrong on this, but I think I've
That's
heard that
hilarious.
somewhere.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So
I like Squidward personally.
By the
Yeah,
way,
it's funny.
I'm so surprised they managed to kill Ebony so easily.
that's a good point. You
That's
bring
a-
that up.
Yeah,
'Cause-
people
Bro,
have
Mike-
thought that's like an
Dude
issue.
made knives out of bricks by wiggling his fingers,
Yeah.
and then he just died because of a hole in the wall.
I'm glad they all died as fast as they did,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because what they were was glorified obstacles to like distract them long enough for somebody else to get something.
And Thanos knew that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you see, like when he shows up on Titan at the end, he's like, "I'm assuming the Maw is dead,"
Mm-hmm.
and like he like that. He just knows, like you know, like he's fine. Like he's not fine with it, I guess, but he almost expected it.
Right.
this day extracts a heavy toll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I noticed for the first time in this. I'm sure people have picked up on this. But when Spider-Man's getting beamed up, as he says, "Mr. Stark, I'm being beamed up,"
Mm-hmm.
he is with Benedict Cumberbatch, who is in Star Trek as
That's cool.
Yeah, who is
Khan.
Khan.
Yeah.
And I just picked up on that on
That's
this
cool.
recent rewatch. I'm
I
like,
never
oh, that
noticed
must must have been like a slight reference to him being in Star Trek.
So speaking of that,
Yeah.
I know everybody wanted a Sherlock interaction
Oh yeah.
of a classic line or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they did it, and I think they did it the best way they could,
Mhm.
because you see it's just a medium shot of Tony and Strange flying through space on each side of the screen. It's just the two. It's their profiles looking at each other.
Yeah.
And he says, "Do you concur, Doctor?"
Yeah.
And he just looks at him.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the closest you can get to a Sherlock joke.
I think so.
That works.
I liked it.
Me too. Because the thing is, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's the Sherlock reference."
Right.
Like I picked up on it.
Can we talk about them, because
They're one of the highlights.
I love them, and
And you were not a fan of Strange.
yeah,
were
I was
you?
gonna say, you guys know me. I did not like Doctor Strange the film, and I didn't like the character,
yeah.
in the film.
How do you feel now? Because he seemed
God.
like you liked him a little more in Ragnarok.
I
too, right?
love in Ragnarok. I love him in this because like he is a very powerful being,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like his hubris and Tony Stark's hubris meshing together does not mesh well, and I love how they just go at it with each other because they're both very smart people, and they cannot be in the same room.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
It's two very different kinds of inflated egos.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the best part about it, as someone who really likes Doctor Strange and he's one of my favorite characters, it still feels consistent with what we saw him being in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's a jerk in this.
Yeah.
But I like that in this.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think he works better with other characters.
Okay.
At least that's how I feel. And especially in this movie, I
Right.
feel like it works really well.
Also, to be fair, for the character difference, he was, severely depressed
Yeah.
in Doctor Strange the entire time.
That's fair.
I would not be opposed, and we can get into this later, to him taking over the Tony Stark role in
Yeah.
the future.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be either. I want to see more Doctor Strange. Again, he is one of my favorite characters. Probably like maybe top 3,
Yeah.
top 4, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, I think he's great, and I really like Benedict Cumberbatch in this role. I'm very excited to see more of him.
Me too.
And yeah, I feel like you're probably right with that sort of.
There are, now that I'm thinking about it, different foils for different characters.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Black Panther's Captain America-ish, I could see.
Yeah. Leader that represents a nation.
Captain Marvel, Thor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fish out of water kind of story.
I have a third question for you guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully this one's better than the last one.
Mhm.
Do you think we're going to see a lot of Wong in Endgame?
I want to
Um,
save that.
What?
Yeah.
I want to save that for second half.
All right,
Te-
save it for second
Technically,
half.
he's
Okay.
dead, right?
No, he's still alive.
No, he's not. He didn't get snapped.
Oh, he wasn't snapped?
Yeah.
I keep messing up the snap posters.
Um,
Granted, I've seen them like twice. So.
so Strange and Tony are another highlight of this movie.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I have a note here that just said yes, Guardians. Especially when you when
The introduction is so good.
when Bruce is on the phone with Captain America, you hear a little theme
Rubber
going on,
Band
and
Man's
it's like,
starting to play.
oh, I
Yeah.
know exactly what's about to happen. And you get the first of all, again, like Civil War, the title card's coming up with just like the location that they're in, and just says space. And it's like,
Yeah.
I know exactly what's going. I love the Guardians, dude.
They're so good in this movie.
Yeah, and they're like low key, like the main cast.
Yeah, they
of
carry
this
this
movie,
movie.
Yeah.
which is weird. Like having these guys who are just random characters. Like if you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
in the greater Marvel universe and like comics, everything, they're just like knockoff kind of Avengers, and now they are like the lead roles in
Yeah,
this movie.
they're the main characters, I would say.
Gamora, her story is like vital to this.
Oh yeah.
Peter Quill, of course, attached to Gamora, and Rocket with Thor, and Groot with Thor.
Rocket and Thor is a very good pairing.
Yeah,
too.
I like him.
That's another thing that I have. I love unusual pairings
Yeah.
in fiction,
Mm-hmm.
and this does it so well. And I was gonna say especially with Rocket and
Sweet Rabbit.
Thor. Yeah, the Sweet Rabbit.
Rocket was great with Bucky, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I will say this.
I'm getting that arm.
The most perfectly timed scene in the entire movie, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, was the Guardians when Drax said he was invisible.
Yeah.
And then Mantis just walked around the corner and was like, "Hi, Drax," like
Uh-huh.
as he's like discussing it. That's still like one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah,
Comedic
Guardians
moments.
is definitely a highlight.
I'm not sure how much information we have on this.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure James Gunn was there for that,
Yes.
wasn't he?
I think so.
He was at least on set.
He was on set, and I think he worked with the Russos
Mhm.
with direction and probably with writing.
Yeah, because God bless he's back for 3, but like I remember people were saying like, "Oh, the Russos could do it." I think they managed to work them into the story well, but I
Yeah.
do think a lot of Gunn's fingerprints are still over the Guardian stuff.
I think
Was he out? Sorry to cut off.
no,
Was he
go
out
for
at
it.
that point?
No.
No. Okay.
No, yeah, that was later that summer, right?
Yeah,
So
but way after shooting still.
yeah, I feel like with most characters in this, the Russos didn't need the directors of the other movies or the writers of the other movies to come in, but I think Guardians are so specific to James Gunn
Mm-hmm.
that it was really kind of, we need your help with this and like make sure we're doing the right thing. And boy howdy, did they do the right thing with these characters.
So I asked Kayla this on her show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that this is an opinion I've seen online a fair bit, and I do not agree with it at all.
Okay.
Do you think that Thor's character regressed or backtracked from the growth he had in Ragnarok in Infinity War?
This is my favorite interpretation of Thor.
Okay.
So I would say it's even better.
Okay.
Because Thor in Ragnarok is too silly. I appreciate the silliness, and we get some of that in Infinity War. But in Ragnarok, it is a little too much. And in fact, one of my favorite bits of acting in this movie, and I think is Chris Hemsworth's best bit of acting in anything that I've seen him in, is his conversation with Rocket.
Yes, absolutely.
Where he's tearing up about like everything that he's lost, and he's like, well, what else do I have to lose? That makes me tear up.
Yeah, it's really impactful. That one interaction alone is what makes me throw out that take.
Oh, definitely.
Because I feel like, you know how sometimes, and I don't want to call any type of opinions out, but like sometimes people see like the surface level of something.
Yes.
Like they see Thor's entire story in this is getting a new weapon.
Right.
Getting a replacement for Mjolnir, which in Ragnarok it was like he learned to not need Mjolnir.
Yeah.
The symbolism behind him losing his eye, he gets a new eye.
Okay.
So like seeing it from that level of like, oh yeah, no consequence for fighting Hela.
I can understand.
And his entire thing is needing a new weapon again.
Yeah.
I feel like that there's like a difference between character growth and like motivations.
So that I feel like this thing with Thor is is more about MacGuffin than it is about him like regressing, because he's trying to find this thing to destroy this other thing. Very MacGuffin-esque.
Right. And I'll also say, because the thing is, people were like, oh, he never used his abilities like he did against Hela. When he comes in at Wakanda in the end and he's using Stormbreaker, that is still more lightning than I've ever seen Thor use.
Also, why didn't they play Led Zeppelin when he showed in?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, come on, dude. That'd have been awesome.
No. I vehemently disagree with this sentiment.
So a lot of people like the Led Zeppelin thing, but you're an Avengers guy.
Yeah.
Avengers theme guy at that moment.
Yeah, because
I mean, I love the Avengers theme at that moment. It definitely that makes sense.
Because the immigrant song I really love in Ragnarok.
It's definitely a Taika Waititi-ism.
Correct. But first perspective of this whole thing, which isn't the reason I think it should work this way, it's an Avengers movie. He's teaming up with his crew again.
That's fair.
A
new crew.
Yeah, but like Stephen Banner's still there. And then on top of that, you need a good moment for the Avengers theme. That is clearly the best moment to use it.
Yeah. And earlier we were discussing that's a clap moment.
Yeah. Third, immigrant song, I think tonally would be so out of place there.
I mean, it probably would.
Yeah.
But I would have.
Still would have been cool.
Oh, I would have been like.
Because the thing is,
imagine if you heard that slow, in working up. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
I know, and I know it's cool in Ragnarok, and I'm not saying that I don't like that. I'm saying like for the stakes of the entire thing of what's happening right now, they're about to all die.
Yeah. No, it makes no sense.
You know, like having the Avengers theme. Also, the Avengers theme is one of my favorite pieces of music in the last 30 years.
It's the only,
not 30 years. I've been alive for 22. But
it's the only thing it's the only score in the MCU that you can tell.
Guardians has one too now, but
I couldn't tell you what it. I mean, personally, me.
Yeah.
But I know the Avengers theme, and you can hum along to it.
Yeah.
But most other characters in the MCU don't have a definitive theme, which is really disappointing.
And the Avengers theme, I'll go as far as saying it's better than most if you want to say iconic themes that have come up since, I don't know, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, since the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say.
Ever since then, the Spider-Man theme from Danny Elfman, it's all right. Dark Knight theme.
Yeah.
Just a lot of drums.
Right.
As much as I like it. Inception, still there's lots of heavy beating things. Avengers theme is so distinct. Alan Silvestri.
Yeah.
You want to talk him? Back to the Future. It's real good.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, there's so much emotion behind that piece of music, just those few notes. So using it there, I thought was great. That's my favorite part of this entire movie, is when Thor shows up, the hammer goes around, bring me Thanos. That whole thing chills every time. I love it to death.
Oh yeah,
that was dope.
So
can I just say something back, kind of backtracking to people saying, the character development was shot because Thor needed a new weapon. Is that not a given? Because he had to fight Thanos with Infinity Stones, one of the strongest beings ever, and his biggest lightning bolt. He said, "I hit Hela with the biggest lightning bolt in history." Didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's the god of lightning. He's got all this power, but in a lot of situations, it's not good enough.
Right.
Right. And also, I feel like in Ragnarok, the whole point, what I took away from it at least, was he needs to learn to be who he is. And he is a king.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of the whole Odin symbolism of everything like that. Ditching the hammer, going for lightning. That's just being like, hey, Thor, you should be this person. Like, you have all these things that you're just not addressing that you should be doing.
Yeah.
Because that's who you are.
Right.
And that's what I like about Ragnarok. And where he leaves off in there is still consistent with what he's doing and the decisions he's making in here. But like what you said, Pat, like,
Yeah.
he knows he needs a Thanos killing weapon. You know?
Yeah.
He fought Thanos already and he lost.
Got his ass handed to him.
Exactly.
He knows what he needs.
I have a question about Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
Is it like Mjolnir, where like only he can pick it up?
I don't know.
That's a
Because
good
Groot
question.
picked it up, but it was also not.
It wasn't
yeah.
forged yet, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It wasn't forged yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
Food
Wait.
for thought.
Doesn't.
No one else picks it up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, doesn't Captain Marvel do it at the end of the?
No, he calls it
It goes
and
by
it
her
flies
face.
past her
Oh,
yeah.
and she's like straight faced.
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind then. You want to talk about the snap, or do you want to say that for a little bit later?
I mean, there's just so much to discuss in
There's
this
a lot.
movie.
Yeah.
Quick fire, I guess, a few things.
Sure.
Oh, there's one thing I definitely wanted to talk about that I'm
Right.
not a huge fan of.
Okay.
So I like Vision.
You don't like Vision and
I
Scarlet
don't like
Witch?
Vision and Scarlet Witch
Oh
in this movie.
no, I love Vision and Scarlet Witch.
The thing is, I love Wanda. Wanda is one of my favorite MCU characters.
Yeah, she's great.
I love her in Age of Ultron, bad accent and all. I love her in Civil War.
Lesser accent.
And then, honestly, the accent has never been a big deal for me.
Just no accent anymore.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
just like
such a big crush on Wanda.
Yeah.
Even though she's not real.
I like her character a lot because I like how she was, like, Spider-Man excluded. She's the youngest Avenger.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's supposed to be way younger than Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, but
She's probably supposed to be like 20 at this point.
yeah, maybe like early 20s. But like,
Yeah.
she still has that, not innocence, but she has that like,
Naivety.
yeah, and she's so powerful, and she's such a cool character. And like, you've seen her go through this emotional arc of not knowing how to act on her like ambition from being manipulated in Ultron, trying to be a hero in Civil War, and then screwing everything up.
Yeah.
And in here, I feel like she's just reduced to nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, same with Vision, too. I feel like Vision in Ultron was so good. I liked their back and forth in Civil War, even though Vision was still kind of creepy about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Of being like, oh, no, you cannot leave. I'm in charge of you.
Right.
Like, that's weird, but I still think Vision's a cool character. But there's just something about him in this one. I don't know what it is. It's like the reliance on the two of them just being in a relationship.
Forced.
And like the whole ending. I like the end scene where she has to blow up his head.
Oh yeah, it's very sad.
Because that's very emotional. But like, I would have been more emotionally invested if they gave a little more development to the reason why they care about each other.
I see. So
it feels underbaked.
yeah,
Like every time they cut to Greenwich, is that where they are?
they're in Edinburgh.
Okay. Every time they cut there, whenever I watch this movie, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. So I actually really like
Okay.
their relationship, and I understand that these movies like to have like a forced relationship, just like any movie does.
I will say it's better than. Actually, I don't know if it's better than Banner and Widow.
I think it is, and I think it's much better than Tony and Pepper.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I agree with that because I don't really care.
Yeah.
not to be mean.
No, I understand.
I've just never critically analyzed.
So, I get why they're in a relationship, and it makes sense, and it is like off screen because in Civil War we saw their progression a little bit, and now it is just like, oh, we're in a relationship now, and that's like I understand why people have issues
Like
with
there's
that.
a time jump, and it's like you're asking me to like have this connection to these two characters
Right.
that I already like beforehand, and you're just telling me, hey, don't they love each other?
Yeah,
And it's like,
I liked.
I think it's the weakest part of this movie.
Okay. I liked their conversation, how it was like, Vision was like, what if I missed that train?
Yeah.
What if I missed every train? I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
like I like
cool.
that. Like there's a couple pieces of dialogue between them I enjoy, but it's so strange because it's two of the strongest people on that team
Yeah.
reduced to just being boyfriend girlfriend in a lot of instances.
That's fair.
And it's like I think it's a disservice, especially to Wanda,
Mm-hmm.
because you see her get her moment at the end
Yeah.
when she shows up to save Black Widow,
Yeah.
and that's awesome.
Oh, it's awesome.
And I think
Why wasn't
Elizabeth,
she down here this whole time?
yeah, and Elizabeth Olsen's performance, especially at the end when she has to kill Vision,
Yeah.
heart wrenching. But I would care more if it wasn't like this weird mishandling of these characters that I enjoy.
I feel like that is that opinion that you have is something I would usually have in this type of situation. For some reason, I just really liked it.
Okay.
Um,
Like I get liking it. It's just like it felt unearned and out of place.
that makes sense. But yeah, like what you're saying at the end when she was doing that, I was like, wow, it's very sad to me.
Uh-huh.
Is that right if I say something I have beef with?
So-
Yeah.
Vision, when he's not in like his superhero clothes, like why does he look like he lives in a loft in Brooklyn?
Okay.
He looks like such a hipster, dude.
Paul Bettany looks more normal as a human being as Vision than he does as Paul Bettany.
Really?
Paul Bettany looks weird. Just look up Google image
I
Paul
got it right
Bettany,
now.
and he wears like these yellow sunglasses for some. He just looks real strange. Sorry, Paul Bettany.
Oh, he looks like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I don't mean to disparage the man's personal appearance, but he looks so weird.
But in like, dude, even when he's got a red face and
He looks more normal as Vision.
yeah, he's naked all the time,
Yeah,
but he still feels the need to put like a cardigan on.
it's fair.
Like, get out of here, Vision.
It's fair.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, Vision has some weird stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
There's still so much I feel like we haven't touched on.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a long episode.
I mean, we're approaching an hour right now.
Okay.
Yep, we're at 58 minutes.
I want to rattle off a few other things. We can just say
Okay.
what we like about it, what we don't like about it. Red Skull.
Sure. That's
Good
cool.
roll.
That surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, and it's not played by
Right.
Hugo Weaving.
And is it just CG? It's not makeup, right?
CG.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who is the
he is
voice?
floating.
Do you know who the voice is?
Oh,
anyone?
I know. It's,
It is someone of prominence.
Yeah, Pat, you want to check?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, he's good. That whole scene, very emotional.
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
death of Gamora. Again, Gamora, I feel like carries a lot of the emotional weight. of
Good
this
score
movie.
at that part too.
Ross Marquand. I don't know how to say his name.
Marquand, okay.
Marquand, yeah.
Well, who did he? What's he
What
known
else
for?
has he been in?
He's been in.
I feel like it was someone that I.
Yeah, me too.
He's been in The Walking Dead. And like that's it.
Huh.
I haven't heard any
Strange.
of these other movies.
Aaron in The Walking Dead.
I don't know an Aaron.
I don't either. Also, The Walking Dead.
Oh, was he? He was one of the gay guys in The Walking Dead, I think.
Oh,
Remember
I
that
stopped
gay
watching
couple?
The Walking Dead.
I stopped at like season 4 or 5.
That's like right when I stopped.
Oh, okay.
He was in Mad Men
Never watched Mad
as
Men.
Paul Newman. He was on Conan, and he played Christopher Walken. Phineas and Ferb,
Robot Chicken.
Han Solo. Battlefield Hardline.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
I
yeah.
thought he was more.
That was
We
a cool
are
moment.
Tangent City today.
Yeah,
we
wow.
are going all over the
That
place.
was a cool moment. It was cool they brought him back for that.
Mhm.
Red Skull's a cool villain.
I think so too.
I'm glad he's back, and I'm glad he's like this like really detached, like wizened being.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when they showed up there, and I want to return to this later on,
Mhm.
we showed up and it was the cloak talking. I was like, "Is that death? Are we going there right now?"
Oh.
But then it's like,
Oh.
So you went Infinity Gauntlet.
yeah, and then
Okay.
it, like he started talking. I was like, "Are they making death like this just ambiguous being now? Like
yeah.
non-binary gender? Is it
Right.
just like a being? Is
Sure.
it just a thing?" And then he shows up, and I was like, "Oh, that's what we're doing."
I was
okay.
so taken aback because
Yeah.
obviously, like, Red Skull doesn't die at the end of Cap. He just like gets
he gets
teleported. and Captain
vaporized.
America's like, oh, well, all right. But yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
cool.
That surprised me. Cool moment. Gamora, rest in peace.
Yeah,
She's
she's dead,
yeah.
She's gonzo.
big time.
Wakanda is very cool in this movie.
I think so too.
Bucky's great. I'm glad they brought back a lot of the supporting cast from Black Panther
Yeah, me too.
because they also carry a lot of the second half.
It was like most of them,
Yeah, like M'Baku was there,
except for Lupita Nyong'o's character.
right? Shuri was great. Rest in
Shuri,
peace.
Yeah,
Okoye.
Koya is awesome in this.
Yeah. Well, I feel like is there anything else like specific besides the snap you want to touch on?
I really want to get into the snap. I can't think of anything specific.
I liked Peter Parker a lot in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I completely breezed over Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it smells like a new car in here.
Yeah.
He's great in this.
You ever see that really old movie Alien?
Yeah. How did you feel about that?
I know you weren't that into this pop culture references before.
It was.
I like them.
This one was fine.
Yeah.
Because you
Also-
could tell they're making fun of how people didn't like that.
Also, I swear when the Maw gets sucked out into space,
Yeah.
I hear a Wilhelm.
I thought so too.
Okay.
I thought so too.
I'm gonna Google it.
I didn't
Okay.
know if they added that because like I've seen this movie so many times and I was like, no wait, was that a Wilhelm?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
That's a little silly, but I kind of like
It
it.
works. It's
Yeah.
fine. He's a trash character.
Yeah,
All the children of Thanos kind of suck.
I really like Ebony Maw,
He's the highlight.
definitely. Yeah, Spider-Man's great. Finally an Avenger. Okay, can we talk about?
It is. There's a Wilhelm scene. Or a scream.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Can we talk about when Tony, Doctor Strange, and Peter all meet up with the Guardians?
Oh, that's so
And
good.
So
That was a great scene.
maybe I can link this to you. I'm gonna link this to you. I don't know. You don't have to put it in the show because it's way too long.
Okay.
But there's you can put it in the description if you want. There's an awesome edit on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. What
By
you're
someone like edited it as if like a millennial edited like a YouTube video.
and it's I think is the music underneath from SpongeBob.
yawning? It's yeah,
It's like the
SpongeBob
dun,
music.
dun, dun,
And
dun,
anytime
dun.
Tony Stark is like thinking for a little bit, it's like wake me up, wake me up. It's so I gotta find it.
Okay. Yeah.
Audience, please.
All their interactions are
Look at this.
great. The Jesus line is really funny. One of my favorites.
Yeah, that is really good.
What master do you serve?
What do you want me to say, Jesus? Oh,
Why
I'll
is
do
Gamora-
you one better. Why
is
is
Gamora?
Gamora?
Well, that's great.
Stupid.
Also, a scene we glossed right over that I liked a lot was when Thor was like, the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and then Mantis was like, is Kevin Bacon on the team? And he's like, it's been a while since I've been there. I know he might be on the team.
Oh, that's funny. This movie, like,
There's a lot of comedy in it. that works.
this movie shouldn't be funny because it's so serious, but it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, they really nail it. And I feel like we could talk about this for hours.
Ugh, yeah, honestly.
Like Tony getting stabbed.
I thought that was it.
Me too.
Me too.
so
That's
bad.
I was like, this is how they do it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like the second he got stabbed and the music stopped and you just see the blood coming out of his mouth, I'm like, this is how he dies,
Mhm.
and I'm accepting this.
That was so powerful.
Like,
There's no music at that point.
I
so-
accepted it. I was like, this is it. Like I believed it, and I was okay with it.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange was like, at the beginning, way before the scene, he was like, if it comes down to you or the stone,
Mhm.
I'm
I'm protecting the stone.
protecting the stone, and he doesn't
Yeah, this. So much-
because he sees that one vision
Where they
where
win.
they win, and
And-
this has to be it.
Because we're in the end game.
We're in the end game now. Okay, let's talk about that because the Russo brothers were like, "Oh yeah, no one's guessed it," but in my mind, I'm like, yeah, "Of course it's Avengers Endgame."
I have another theory,
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
which I want to hop on when we get to theories.
Yeah.
About like some little breadcrumbs.
Oh, breadcrumbs.
Yeah. So let's talk about the snap.
Let's do it.
Snap. Did you think going in they were going to do it? Do you know that that's a thing in the comics beforehand?
I think I did.
Okay.
No, I probably didn't think it was going in.
Mm-hmm.
And there are rumors now, like circulating now, that they were considering snapping and then just being done, like ending the movie right there. Glad they didn't, because this movie would be so much less impactful. I feel without seeing the deaths of these characters that we love so much, especially the ones we didn't expect. Black Panther, that one, like
That was the
Me-
first one that surprised me.
that didn't make me sad. That one surprised me.
Yeah.
I
Peter
think
Parker, dude.
that one made me wept unlike any other movie.
Yeah, that made me cry.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
And
The fact that it starts off screen, it's like, oh no, I
Yeah.
don't want to turn. I don't want to turn around.
he says Mr. Stark off screen, and you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, like everyone's dying, and it's like there's only like 3 people left. Like,
And I think the whole thing with that is like because of his spider sense, he felt it coming.
yeah,
I think what gets undercut a lot too is the fact that Mantis also had a similar experience because she's an empath, so she
Yes.
has like that sense of feelings
Oh, yeah.
higher than most people, and she says something's happening, and she's like so scared when she says it.
that's true.
And then immediately after that, Drax Quill her, or Drax her Quill, I
Yeah.
forget.
So sad, dude.
Yeah, that's the snap was surprising.
What made me really, I mean, of course, Peter, I was literally weeping in that.
Yeah, I was
theater.
crying.
And I feel like something might happen again in Endgame, but
Counting on it.
yeah, the the look on Okoye's face when she sees Black Panther go.
Terrified.
Because her existence is to fight for Wakanda, and the king represents Wakanda.
Mhm.
And she sees that literally disappear in front of her eyes, and she is so confused.
Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant because...
Shout out to Denai.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought she was going to...
Me too. Because the
disappear.
thing is, he was reaching, and I was like, oh, the hand. Something's going to
Yeah.
happen with her hand. She's going to just fade away.
I think that was the point.
Yeah.
I think they
good
wanted
job.
you to be like, Okoye is going to go. And it's like, what?
The one that I think is a little silly out of all of this
Yeah.
is Falcon. And then, like, 5 feet away from
Where
her,
you
she's like,
at, Sam?
Sam, where you at? Where are you? It's like, okay. Also weird, I always pick up on this, and I've finally just assumed that it's someone off screen seeing someone die. When it shows Groot fading away,
Yeah.
like when it cuts to that, you just hear, oh God, in the background.
Oh, I've never noticed
It
that.
always bothers you. It's like, does Rocket saying that? Is Groot saying that? It must be someone like on the battlefield or something.
Oh, because I know Rocket saying, no.
Yeah, and he's like so defeated because he's already lost Groot before.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, this movie left me depressed.
Yeah, it really did. But that's why I love this so much. It's so different.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, there's the whole thing of like, oh, obviously Black Panther 2 is happening. It takes away from the impact. I don't think it does.
So I don't think it did either, and I hated all the people that thought they were so smart. Yeah, of course. But, like, of course that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But can we just appreciate the moment right
'Cause
now?
The thing that I latch onto
Yeah.
is the fact that, yeah, we've seen trailers and footage of Tom Holland playing Spider-Man again
Yeah.
before we even see Endgame.
Of course.
He still died in that world, so I'm attached to Tony in that scene.
Yeah.
More so now. Like, Tony went through that loss. He's responsible for that
Right.
to some extent. So I'm, like, empathizing more with Tony for having to lose Peter
Mm-hmm.
than, oh, no, Peter died. Because, like, yeah, he's coming back. But, like, Tony doesn't know he's coming back, you
Right.
know? Tony still thinks he's dead. May thinks he's dead still.
I still watch this movie, and I'm like, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Like, I know Far From Home is months away.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. It's still sad.
Well, so was Black Panther the most surprising one for you?
That took me by surprise because like, whoa, I just saw his new movie. So that was a little like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
And like in the moment, I wasn't like, oh, they're gonna be fine. I was like, whoa, he just got a movie. Like, come on, guys.
The
way-
equivalent would be like if Captain Marvel got killed in the first 15
Yeah.
minutes of Endgame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like I think we can wrap up on this and then
Mhm.
switch over into Endgame stuff. I think the thing that I liked most about the snap the night I saw the movie was the snap happens, and based on what I know from the comics, what I was expecting,
Yeah.
it was just gonna be like, hey, where's Vision?
Mm.
Where's Rocket? You know, like
Like,
they're
there
just
was-
gone.
So no one like dusted and like you couldn't. There
I was
wasn't
expecting the snap was going to happen after we come back. I was just like looking at all the characters that were still there. I'm like, okay, Thor's safe, Captain America's safe, because I didn't expect them to like slowly go off. I thought it was going to be instant.
Was that what the comics was like? Is like people just gone?
I think so.
Okay.
So that's what I was expecting. So then I hear Bucky just say Steve, and I'm like, okay, so
Mhm.
Bucky's safe too. And then you just see him collapse. I'm like,
That was a good first one.
oh, I have to watch them all die.
I think that was a good first.
Impactful.
It was impactful
A lot
and
of Steve Bucky shippers wept that day.
yeah, definitely.
So snap is good.
Mhm.
I'm excited to see where they pick up from.
Definitely. Now, do you want to rank now or after?
Why don't we rank now? Because
Okay.
I feel like if people are still listening, because we're going long, if some of you are wary about Infinity War spoilers, sorry, Endgame spoilers, you can rank and then hop off if you don't want to hear any speculation.
Makes sense.
We're not going to really be basing it off of trailers, I don't think, or
I-
like stuff we've seen.
I've seen one trailer.
Yeah, so-
and it was the football.
And neither of us or Pat have seen the leaked footage. So we don't have any of that stuff
God
going in.
no.
Facts.
God no.
Thank God for that.
Yeah. So, Jack, would you like to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Number 21 is The Incredible Hulk. Wow, 21. Number 20 is Thor: The Dark World. Number 19 is Doctor Strange. Number 18 is Thor. 17 is Ant-Man. 16, Iron Man 2. 15 is Iron Man. 14 is Captain America: The First Avenger. 13 is Captain Marvel. 12 is Iron Man 3. 11 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. 10 is The Avengers. 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. 8 is Age of Ultron. 7 is Thor Ragnarok. 6 is Black Panther. 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy. 4 is Spider-Man Homecoming. 3, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And here is where I encounter some difficulties.
Okay. I got scared for a second.
Number 2 is the Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
Number 1 is Captain America Civil War. Right now, in my head, I love Infinity War, and I kind of want it to be number 1. But I just have such an undying love for Civil War that no one else has.
I get it. Because with me, I
It's
usually...
such a personal story.
I know. That's usually what I prefer.
Yeah.
So as cool as Infinity War is, I do like the more contained,
Yeah.
grounded things.
I will say, from an objective standpoint, I will say that Infinity War, I think, is the best comic book movie of all time.
Okay. Yeah.
My favorite movie of all time is The Dark Knight. To me, it's not a comic book movie.
It is definitely not.
This is like the best of a comic book movie.
Okay.
This feels like a comic book.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Pat, what about you?
So I'm gonna go top down.
Okay.
Number 1 is Infinity War.
Mhm.
I made another change from last week. Number 2 is Civil War. 3, Thor Ragnarok. 4, Guardians 2. 5, Spider-Man. 6, Age of Ultron. 7, Winter Soldier. 8, Guardians of the Galaxy. 9, Captain Marvel. 10, Black Panther. Sorry, the numbers are like destroyed right now.
It's all good.
10, Black Panther. 11, Ant-Man and the Wasp. 12, Iron Man 3. 13, Avengers. 14, Cap 1. 15, Ant-Man. 16, Iron Man. 17, Doctor Strange. 18, Iron Man 2. 19, Thor. 20, Thor 2. And 21, Hulk.
Very nice.
That was, like, look at this note page. It's so distracting. I need to write a new
It's a
list.
big boy list.
It's a big boy list.
It's
And
huge.
it's looks like a prisoner is going mad wrote it.
All right. For the second to last time,
Yes.
number 21, The Incredible Hulk. Number 20, Thor: The Dark World. Number 19, Iron Man 2. Number 18, Captain America: The First Avenger. Number 17, The Avengers, which felt so weird to say
Wow,
right then.
that's so far down.
I know. Number 16 is Thor. Number 15 is Doctor Strange. Number 14 is Iron Man. Number 13 is Ant-Man. Number 12 is Iron Man 3. Number 11 is Captain Marvel. Number 10 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Number 9 is Captain America: Civil War. Number 8 is Avengers: Age of Ultron. Number 7 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 6 is Thor Ragnarok. Number 5 was the hardest one I had to choose. Because I think Black Panther is a better movie than Infinity War, personally.
Ah, really?
But Infinity War is so much more impressive. And I can't rank Infinity War higher than I do because of some personal things, of personal preferences of other movies. But Black Panther, I can't put above those. Like it was a very hard reasoning for the way I ranked these next few. 5 is Black Panther.
Okay.
4 is Avengers: Infinity War.
Okay.
3 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. 2 is Spider-Man: Homecoming, and 1 is Captain America: the Winter Soldier.
Okay. Interesting. I don't always agree with your opinions, Christian, but I appreciate that you have your own particular opinions.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're very unique to how other people would
Thank you.
rank
I appreciate that.
things like that. So I do
And-
appreciate that. Like Guardians 2 is number 3 for you?
Yes.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
And Kayla,
Hey, oh, no, not same. Guardians 2 is 4.
your girlfriend Kayla,
Mhm.
not the Kayla that you guessed it on, her Thor is number 2? Like the OG
original.
Thor?
So I think what she did, I can correct this when I edit, but I think Ragnarok is her favorite.
Yeah.
Then Infinity War, or it might be those two switched around, and then I think it's Guardians 2.
Okay.
And then like Thor and like the first Captain America get around there, then
Mhm.
Captain Marvel. So
Interesting.
yeah,
I appreciate the diversity of our list too.
yeah. I like that they're different. I like that they're not like the list you'd find on IGN. You know,
I don't think they are.
They're
I
all
feel
very
like
unique.
Yeah, a lot of ours are.
And
nothing
and
against IGN, but like
Yeah.
super personalized.
Yes, I think so.
There's not a lot of, well, maybe for you guys. For me, not a lot
Yeah.
of professional standards.
Yeah,
Or something.
there's a lot of personality in
Mhm.
ours, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like the bunch of different seasonings.
Yeah,
There you go.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, for those that don't want to hear the end game speculation,
Mhm.
this has been episode 11 of Excelsior. In the future, what to expect from the show moving forward. We will have a spoiler review of Endgame next episode.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we may or may not take a week off, and then resuming after that potential break, or right after Endgame, depending on what we decide, we're going to be doing a Marvel Comics book club, where every week via satellite, we will be meeting up, the three of us, reading a Marvel graphic novel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You
going
guys
to
get to see
try.
my face for the first time.
Yeah. Do
That-
you want to save it for that, or do you want to pop in next week? Or
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll
okay.
figure it out.
So, so I'm going to try to pick books that are available via the Comixology subscription program,
Mhm.
because then you'll be able to just get a trial for a month if you want to read along.
A lot of the big ones are on there, I imagine.
Yeah, I think executive decision, we're starting the first episode of that review, which will be a continuation in the this show's lineup. So
Right.
episode 13 then would still be a comic book for
Mhm.
Excelsior. Spider-Man Blue.
Yes.
So if you want to get ahead of it, we can look into that. It's pretty cheap.
Mhm.
So that is what we're doing with that. We will be reviewing Spider-Man in this sort of format when Far From Home comes out.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everybody who's hopped along for this journey.
Yeah, this has been a great ride.
Yeah,
And-
thank you guys so much for the support.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
And the two of you shout out. This show would not be the way it is without the both of you.
Yeah. Well, especially,
Aw.
thank you very much.
Thanks.
But especially to you, Christian. You're the head of this, so we
Yeah.
appreciate your.
I mean, I feel like you don't get enough credit. Like,
Yeah,
this
Christian
was all
edits-
your idea. You
Christian
put this
edits
whole thing
everything on
together.
here too. So
Thanks, guys.
You built the damn studio.
yeah,
Like,
that's
it's-
the most impressive part for sure.
Yeah.
You did a great job, man.
Yeah. Well
Thanks,
done,
guys.
Christian.
Thank you. So, before we since we are sort of potentially doing a soft wrap up here,
Mm-hmm.
so anything
Can I,
you would like
can I
to plug?
suggest something?
Yeah, what's up?
So we don't want to spoil stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What if Theories is a bonus episode?
I was thinking of that. Depending on how I edit this and how I feel when I'm editing, I might just split it up into a separate thing.
Cool.
All right.
So, we want to do plugs then.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at FascinatedJack. We have a show ongoing called My First Mon. It's on JoyClicks. You're already here, I imagine, if you're on YouTube. So yeah, you can find that on YouTube via JoyClicks or podcast services like Apple Podcasts
And
and
Spotify.
Spotify. I'm playing through Pokemon Blue for the first time,
It's a good time.
and I have some thoughts, and you can hear them.
What about you, Pet?
I'm on Twitter at the P Moron. That hasn't changed since we've started. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. We have a lot of projects coming up.
Yes,
with
we
Joy
do.
Clicks that me and Christian were talking about that I'm very excited for.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned here if you want to hear more of my voice and maybe see my face. I'm not scared of the camera. It's just that I'm sitting here and I don't want to get up.
Yeah. And again, while you're here on JoyClicks, shout out to my friend Omar Nakvi, because he edits our on and off gaming show, the JoyClicks podcast, which is indefinitely going on hiatus. Potentially coming back around E3. He's got some ideas for things he wants to do.
Cool.
So the finale for now, I'll say, is on YouTube now already on the channel. So check that out. It's a good time. I'm on Twitter at Chris N. Buckley. And yeah, we will see you into the end game.